You are ignoring the exit. While you search for locked doors, the only open passage is right in front of you and you do not see it. Do you know why? Because it does not look like an exit. It looks like a surrender. It looks like a renunciation. It looks like the end of everything you built with your own hands. And that is exactly why it works. I need to tell you something today that goes against everything you have been taught about how to solve problems. It goes against your logic, against your survival instinct. But listen carefully, because this may be the last time you hear this before you insist on the wrong path for more years. The only exit is not to do more, it is to do differently. And doing differently begins with a word you hate. Stop. Look at me now. If you are here, there is a war happening inside you, between who you think you need to be and who God created you to be. This war is consuming you little by little. It is stealing your sleep. It is exhausting your body. It is weakening your relationships. It is making you question whether it is worth continuing. And do you know what hurts even more? You are trying everything, praying all the prayers, following all the advice, consuming spiritual content nonstop, but nothing changes. And then comes that question that hurts. Has God abandoned me? No, my child, God has not abandoned you. You are simply fighting the wrong battle. And what if I told you that the problem is not the size of your faith, but the direction of it? What if I show you that you have prayed for the right results, but with the wrong strategies? Pay attention. This is urgent. There are people who think faith is insisting, that persistence is knocking on the same door 1,000 times until it opens, that trust in God means always doing the same thing, hoping for different results. But that is not faith. That is stubbornness disguised as devotion. True faith is having the courage to stop when God says stop. It is having the humility to change when God says change. It is having the wisdom to let go when God says let go. The only exit I am showing you today is not a magic formula. It is not a verse you repeat 40 times before sleeping. It is not a 21-day fast that will force God to give you what you want. The only exit is a principle that almost nobody wants to hear because it hurts too much. Surrendering your will to God's will, not just in words, but in radical actions. You want to know how? I will teach you, step by step, without nonsense. But first, I need your commitment. If this resonated with you, if you felt that these words touched something true inside you, like this right now. It is not superstition. It is an act of decision. It is you saying, I choose to listen to the end, instead of going back to the cycle that does not work. The like is your first act of doing differently. Did you do it? Then let us go together. First step, identify what you are controlling that is not yours to control. There is something in your life right now that you are holding on to so tightly that your hands are wounded from inside. It could be a relationship, a job, a financial situation, a dream that should have already ended, but you keep trying to revive it with your own strength. And every time you try to control, God steps back. Do you know why? Because God does not compete with you for control of your life. He waits for you to get tired. In the scriptures, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, it is written that there is a time to plant and a time to uproot what has been planted, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away. This is not beautiful poetry. This is practical direction. You know this passage, but knowing is not the same as applying. So I will be direct. What do you need to uproot? What do you need to lose? What do you need to throw away so that God can work? Take a piece of paper. Now. Do not put it off. Write one thing you are trying to control. One thing that consumes your energy. One thing that, when you think about it, your stomach tightens, your chest gets heavy, and your mind races. Did you write it? Great. Now comes the hard part. I want you to be honest. Why are you holding on to this? Is it fear of being alone? Is it shame of admitting you were wrong? Is it pride of not wanting to admit defeat? Name the reason. Write it too. When you name what binds you, you take away part of its power. There is a truth that many people do not perceive. What you hold on to out of fear of losing ends up imprisoning you. And the hardest prison to escape is the one you build yourself around the things you do not want to let go. You think you are protecting something valuable, but in reality, you are preventing yourself from receiving what God has really prepared for you. Think about it. How many opportunities have you already missed because you were too busy holding on to something that no longer made sense? How many new doors have you ignored because your hands were full, trying to hold old doors that God had already closed? Second step, declare the surrender out loud. It is no use just thinking about it. It is no use letting it go mentally while your body continues acting as if everything depends on you. You need to declare it. The scriptures, in the letter of James chapter 5, verse 16, show the importance of confessing, of bringing to light, not because God needs to hear, He already knows, but because you need to hear your own voice assuming the commitment. So now, alone or accompanied, you will say out loud, God, I renounce control over what you have written. I admit that I do not know what else to do. I admit that my efforts have not been enough. I place this in your hands. If it is your will, sustain it. If it is not, remove it from my life and give me courage to accept it. This is scary, I know, because it seems like passivity. It seems like giving up, but it is not. It is the opposite. It is the deepest action that exists. Trusting in an invisible God instead of trusting in your visible strategies that have already shown repeated failures. You are not running away. You are changing commanders. And here comes a detail that many ignore. True surrender is not an emotional moment. It is a decision you will need to reaffirm several times. So after declaring, write down the date. Write, today I place this in God's hands. This will be a milestone. When doubt comes, you go back and remember this day. The declaration has power not because the words are magical, but because they establish a concrete commitment. It is like signing a contract with God. You are saying, from today on, I choose to trust more than to control. And each time you repeat this declaration, you strengthen this commitment. Third step, replace the wrong action with the right action. Pay attention. This is crucial. Surrendering control does not mean standing still waiting for a miracle to fall from the sky. It means stopping acting by the flesh and starting to act guided by God. What is the difference? Action by the flesh. It is the one you take out of desperation, out of anxiety, out of fear of losing. It is sending that message you know you should not send, just to relieve the anguish of not being answered. It is accepting that job that will hurt you just because you need to pay bills, even though you feel deep down that it will exhaust you profoundly. It is going back to that harmful relationship because loneliness hurts too much. Action guided by God. It is the one that comes with a strange peace, even when it does not make logical sense. It is the one that scares you because it requires faith, but at the same time, it does not eat you up from inside. It does not leave you with the feeling of betraying yourself. So here is your third practical step. Every time you feel the impulse to act by the flesh in that situation you have renounced, you are going to do something different. You are going to stop, breathe deeply 3 times, and ask, God, what does the Lord want me to do now? Not what I think, not what others said. What is the Lord showing me? And then wait. Even if it takes hours, even if it takes days. The book of Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6 teaches us to trust in the Lord with all our heart, not leaning on our own understanding, and to acknowledge God in all our ways so that He will direct our paths. This means exactly this. Before acting, recognize that you do not see everything, and ask for direction. Do you see the emphasis? Not to rely only on your own understanding. Sometimes the right action is not to act. Sometimes it is to retreat when everyone says to advance. Sometimes it is to speak when everyone says to be silent. But you will only know if you ask. Now, I want you to do an exercise for a few days. Every time a quick reaction impulse arises, write down the time. Note what you wanted to do. Wait at least 5 minutes in silence with God. Then write down what you actually decided to do. Over time, you will see a pattern. You will realize that many of your quick reactions were attempts at control, not faith. This exercise will reveal something important to you. Most of your impulsive decisions do not come from wisdom. They come from fear disguised as urgency. When you stop and wait, you can better discern between what is really necessary and what is just anxiety wanting to solve everything now. And what if I wait and nothing happens? That is your question now, is not it? What if I let go of control and God does not do anything either? What if I am left alone in the void? My little one, listen to this carefully. God does not work on your schedule, but He always works. The problem is that you have been measuring results by your criteria. You think that if that job did not work out, God failed. If that relationship was not restored, God did not hear you. If that health situation has not changed yet, God abandoned you. But what if God is protecting you from that job that would have exhausted you in silence? What if God is preserving you from a relationship that would slowly erase everything good that exists in you? What if God is teaching you something through this trial that you would never learn in a time of complete comfort? Have you ever considered that the delay is not absence, but preparation? There is something that almost nobody tells you. Many times, before God changes the circumstances, He changes you. He strengthens your mind. He aligns your heart. He cleanses motivations. He closes doors that you judged essential to open paths that you never imagined. If you look back with honesty, you will realize some things you cried about because you lost them. Today you are grateful you did not keep them. That is a sign that God was working, even when you did not understand. And there is more. The time of waiting is never time wasted. It is time of refinement. It is the moment when God is working on aspects of you that need to be ready before the next stage. You do not see the invisible work that is happening, but it is real. Fourth step, learn to differentiate between letting go and giving up. Here is the point where many people get lost. Letting go is not giving up. Giving up is saying it is not worth it and turning your back with bitterness. It is closing your heart. It is deciding you will never try again. It is raising walls and becoming hardened. Letting go is different. Letting go is saying, I trust that if it is meant to be mine, God will bring it back in a way that does not hurt me. It is giving up control, not legitimate desire. It is putting the how and when in God's hands. Giving up closes doors. Letting go opens the heart. Giving up is passive and resentful. Letting go is active and hopeful. So here is the exercise. When you feel like backing out of the surrender, when desperation comes and you want to take control back, do the following. Put your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. And remember, as long as it beats, God has not finished your story. The struggle is not the end. It is the path. And God uses difficult paths to transform you into the person capable of carrying great victories without getting lost. Do you want victory? Then let God prepare you for it. I want you to imagine now a specific situation in which you let go of something in the past, a person, a place, a habit, and later you realized it was better that way. Use that memory as proof that you can let go and continue well. More than that, you can let go and flourish. Think about how many times you were sure that something was essential to your happiness, and when you lost it, you discovered it was just a weight in disguise. Think about how many times you begged God for something and He said no, and years later you understood that that no was the greatest protection of your life. Now I will reveal to you the principle behind all of this, the reason why this is the only exit. It is because God cannot drive a stopped car, nor a car where you insist on wrenching the steering wheel from His hands. Think with me. When you grip the steering wheel with both hands, clench your teeth and decide, I will do it my way, what are you saying to God? You are saying, I do not need you here, I know the way. And God, with respect for your freedom, honors that choice. He steps back. He lets you learn the hard way. But when you let go of the steering wheel, you do not jump out of the car. Pay attention. When you let go of the steering wheel and say, God, I do not know how to drive this. I need the Lord to take over. Something begins to change. God takes the wheel. And then, my child, you discover that He knows shortcuts you never saw. He has keys for doors you thought were definitely locked. He has connections in places you never imagined reaching. But none of this activates while you insist on driving alone. That is why many people live tired, because they try to live a life of faith with the logic of total control. It does not work. The truth is that the Christian life was not designed to be lived in constant survival mode. It was designed to be lived in partnership with God, where you bring your obedience and He brings His infinite wisdom. But that partnership only happens when you really allow Him to guide. Fifth step, celebrate the signs, not just the miracles. You are waiting for the complete miracle, for the total transformation, for the dream job, for the perfect relationship. And while you wait for the complete package, you ignore the signs God is giving you along the way. That unexpected invitation, that conversation that changed your perspective, that strength to get out of bed on a day you swore you could not, that no you received, and, sometime later, realized it freed you from something harmful. These are signs that God is working, and when you celebrate the signs, you strengthen your faith for the miracle. So here is the practical step. Every day before sleeping, write 3 signs that God acted that day. It does not have to be big. It can be minimal, but it has to be real. Today God gave me strength to. Today God put someone in my path who said. Today God showed me, through a simple situation, that He is still taking care of me. Do this for 30 days and see if your perspective does not change completely. You will realize that God was more present than you imagined. What was missing was not God's action. It was a trained eye to perceive. This exercise also protects your heart from ingratitude and comparison. Instead of looking only at what is missing, you begin to see what is already being built. Many times, the miracle you are waiting for has already begun, but you do not notice it because you are focused only on the final result. 6th step, protect your mind from the wrong voices. Because here is what is going to happen. You are going to apply all of this. You are going to surrender control. You are going to start acting differently. And then the voices will appear. You are being weak. You are being naive. God helps those who help themselves. Wake up. These voices come from 3 places: from the spiritual adversary, from the people around you, and from your own human nature. And all are going to try to convince you that you are wrong, that you need to go back to controlling, that you are wasting time. So here is what you do. You anchor yourself in God's word. In Psalm 46, verse 10, it is written, "Be still and know that I am God." Being still is not cowardice. It is the courage to trust when everything in you screams to act. When the voices come, you respond out loud. I choose to be still because God is God and I am not. I trust in His timing. I trust in His plan. I trust in His wisdom. And you repeat until the voice is quiet. A practical way to protect your mind is to filter what you consume. People who only feed your fear, content that only inflames your anxiety, advice that distances you from God. All of this needs boundaries. The scriptures also guide you to focus your thoughts on what is true, just, pure, and worthy. This is not romanticism. It is mental discipline. When your thoughts go to the worst scenario, bring them back to the truth. God is still in control, even when you let go. You need to understand that the battle for your faith happens first in your mind. If you allow thoughts of doubt, fear, and control to dominate your thinking, your actions will follow. But if you discipline your mind to fix itself on God's promises, your entire life will change direction. The truth that nobody told you. Do you know why nobody taught you this before? Because it is easier to sell ready-made formulas. It is more comfortable to promise that if you do A, B, and C, God is obligated to give you D. But real faith does not work that way. Real faith is you saying, I will obey even without understanding. I will trust even without seeing. I will let go even with fear of falling. And do you know what happens when you do that? You discover that there is a ground under your feet that you never saw while you were clinging to the walls. You discover that God holds you even when you do not feel it. You discover that the only exit was not a new door. It was you finally closing the old door that should have been closed years ago. You discover that God did not just want to change your situation, He wanted to change you. And that internal transformation is more valuable than any external change. Because when God changes you on the inside, no external circumstance has the power to shake you the same way. You become firm, not because the storm stopped, but because you learn to trust in the one who controls the storms. So come with me now. Let us pray together. It is not a decorated prayer. It is a true prayer. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heart. And repeat with me, out loud or in the silence of your heart. Almighty God, I confess that I have tried to solve things my way. I confess that I have tried to control what is not mine to control. Today, in this moment, I surrender myself. I let go, not because I am strong, but because I am tired of pretending to be strong, while inside I am broken. Lord, I place in your hands. Speak out loud what you need to surrender. I will not insist on paths that the Lord has already closed. I will not force doors that the Lord has not opened. I will not try to manipulate situations to sustain what did not come from you. If it is your will, let it happen in your time and in your way. If it is not, give me the courage to let go completely. Give me wisdom to know the difference between acting out of fear and acting guided by your Spirit. Give me peace while I wait. Give me eyes to see your signs along the way. And above all, Lord, give me faith to trust that you are good, even when my life seems confused. I praise you not only for what the Lord can give me, but for who you are. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, amen. Now breathe deeply. You have just taken the bravest step of your life. What to do from now on? Do not go back. No matter what happens in the coming days. No matter if the situation seems to get worse before it gets better. You made a decision of faith. Now sustain it. And every time fear comes, every time desperation knocks, every time you feel like taking control back, come back here. Listen again. Remember the commitment you made. The only exit is not an event. It is a way of life. It is you waking up every day and choosing to trust instead of control. It is you acting when God tells you to act and stopping when God tells you to stop. It is you living with open hands instead of clenched fists. This transforms everything. Your marriage, your finances, your emotional health, your relationships, everything. Because when God has space to work, He makes the impossible become everyday. If you want a simple plan, do this. For the next 7 days, start each morning saying, "Lord, today I choose to trust more and control less." Review daily what you are trying to hold on to again. Redo the surrender prayer whenever you notice you are grasping again. At night, write down the signs of God's care that you perceived that day. Little by little, your mind will align, your heart will calm down, and you will realize that living loose in God's hands is much lighter than trying to hold the world with yours. There is a freedom that you have not yet experienced. The freedom of not needing to have all the answers. The freedom of not needing to solve everything alone. The freedom of trusting that, even when you do not know the next step, God knows. And that is enough. Last word. My child, I know. I know that letting go hurts more than holding on sometimes. But take my hand now and look at me. You are not alone. God is with you, every second, every breath, and He will not let you go just because you let go of control. On the contrary, He will finally hold you the way He always wanted to, but could not while you resisted. So breathe, trust, and walk. The only exit is open, and on the other side, there is a version of you that you do not yet know. A free version, a whole version. A version that does not need to control anymore because you learned to trust. That version is waiting for you. Go to her. I will go with you. Always. Amen.